Andy Reid showing a lot of faith in the rookie as Chrisman's going to send it his way. Backpedals at the 20. He's going to take off. Takes off, and this is why he's out there. That's Sky Moore near the 50. One timeout for the Chiefs. Mahomes in trouble, dumps it off. Pacheco taking players with him to the 47, and they take the timeout.
It favors that, but you still got a chance to clock it. Take your time and take the shot down.
Here's Mahomes rolling out on 3rd and 4. He's going to go for the... Here's Butker. From 45 yards. All the way. It's good. And then a bunch of desperation laterals coming up.
Yep.
There it is on the ground. And retrieved by Irwin, who's going to swing it over to Taylor. He's not down yet. He is now. It's over. It is over, and the Kansas City Chiefs have won it. Heading to the Super Bowl for the 3rd time in 4 years.
Well, I mean, it can still sting, and you can be really proud of what you achieved this season with this group of guys, and that's really the message for them is you looked at Halloween, we were 4-4, and then you looked up and we were 14-4, and back-to-back AFC North champs and back-to-back AFC championship game appearances. And so there's a lot to be proud of, and continue to build off of, and I hope you guys understand that.
What is the biggest takeaway that you want to take from last night's game going into next season, and the motivation that's the problem?
Well, I think when you're, again, the things that are worth doing, it really stings when it doesn't work out in your favor, and there's great joy when they do work out, and we want to be in a position to feel both those emotions based on the outcome of the game, and we've put ourselves in a position to do that over the last 2 years, and those are feelings that we want to be in a position to experience again. Obviously, we want the joy part of it, but I think the team understands that it's a long road to get back every single year, to get to the very back, and you never take it for granted, and so we'll continue to build off of this season.
Just besides he's going to get an MRI on his knee, did that happen yet?
I don't know that that's happened yet. Now we've just been with the exit process, and some of those injury stuff will take shape over the next 2 days. It's, he's a challenge because they move him around, and so you never know on a given play where he's going to be. It's the guys that are able to do that, those interior players that can turn into exterior players and can line up over all your guys. They present real challenges. He's a great player. I thought our guys really fought hard to try to keep those guys at bay, and certainly they got us a couple times, but I was proud of the way our offensive line fought to keep them home so Joe could have time to make some big-time throws, which he did.
Talking about how this team was special, and it seemed like that was a sentiment in the locker room, with guys tearing up and echoing your message about this team just being special. I know your brain isn't even on it right now, but every team changes from year to year. Did that make it sting, or how did it make you feel knowing that this team isn't going to be the same? Obviously, you hope to keep as many players as you can, but things happen. I mean, how did you process not knowing what happened yesterday and the future uncertainty?
Yeah, it's, that whole thing hasn't taken shape yet, and so you don't quite go there. Certainly we've had exit interviews with a lot of players. They know how we feel about them. Certainly guys whose contracts are up, and it's a great group of guys, and I think you all know that from interviewing them. There's probably nobody you interview where you don't want to deal with them, and that just kind of shows what we have in the locker room, and again, so now the next phase of the NFL happens, where you start to go through this transition leading into free agency, and we'll see how it plays out with a lot of guys.
Welcome to the Queen City Strikes podcast. I'm your host, Ray Summers. Shout out to my co-host, Mavi Mav. Man, tell me what's up, bro. Ski.
What's up, everybody? I guess we're off to the off season a lot sooner than expected.
Hell yeah, man. And episode 49, man, Dreams and Nightmares, man. Way to say that, Mav, yo. Y'all can tell by our tone, we ain't too happy. But I will say this, after a couple of days of just resting on the emotions and everything, like I'm cool now compared to Monday and 2 days ago, obviously, and today. But yeah, man, here we are, yo. This is it, man. Man, season 2 finale, y'all. I'm sure you saw crazy game on Sunday night. Bengals lose 23-20, man. Heartbreaking loss, man. Way to end the season. Lots to get into. Just lots to get into the game itself, like a whole bunch of shit. I'm sure everybody been seeing all the tabloids, you know, the referees and the like just voices coming from all angles, man. Voices coming from all angles, man. But I was gonna just get into like I don't really got like a bad rant because like I said if we did this Monday, Mav, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've probably been on here cussing like a storm, bro.
Well, you saw me Monday. I was red hot.
Hell yeah, man.
You already. I mean, there's a video of me to previous playoff games and how I act. You can only imagine how I was watching the game.
Right, man. It's just like I like just to summarize, just to like. I mean, you said it best the last episode. You basically gave a full summary of this 2022 23 season, how it started, the 0-2 start, people freaking out, got to a hot start later in the season, after we got our ass beat by the Browns, as you said, got a hot start, 10-game win streak, going into the playoffs, all the goofy shit with not the rematch, but just the rescheduled game for the Bills, not rescheduled, just the rematch of the Bills that didn't get played that we saw. But this game, y'all, is just, I feel like, me and Mav tell y'all, like, we've been saying this since season 1 and this season, man, and I'm going to tell everybody again, is situations like these and games as you saw, bro, it's like when you keep letting teams get opportunities such as the team we just played, like we named this team, we named a lot of good playoff teams, like you let teams hang around like the way the Bengals letting them hang around, they're going to seal the deal. But one thing, like, I will get into, bro, like, just of that game was probably, we'll just get into the last moments of the game, even though, like, the whole game was wild, just roller coaster emotions, bro. Bengals had a rough start. Offense wasn't really clicking. The offensive line was pretty bad. Like, basically, all the flaws, like, showed in this game. No joke. Like, it showed, like, tremendously. It's almost like, I guess you could say we got exposed a little bit, but it was like, bro couldn't get no time in the pocket to make the play work. The play calling was trash. I mean, defense, it was literally hit or miss. Like it was just on both. I'll say all sides of the football. I'll say everybody did bad, but as a collective unit, they did hang in there. They did have a chance to seal the deal, but they came up short. But the biggest thing to get into is just like that last moments, bro. We watched the strike rewind, and the Bengals had an opportunity in the 2-minute drill. After the 3rd and 16 to Hayden Hurst, after that, it was just curtains. The thing that made me really upset when it came to the last 44 seconds of the game was, one, Drew Krinsman punted the ball directly to the returner. I thought he should have kicked it out of bounds. Maybe it would have saved that long run going to the 50-yard line. He caught it like on the 22. He got it all the way up to the 50-yard line. The second thing I didn't like, bro, was of course, the last play of the game, how that ended. They called the roughing the passer penalty. I believe, to me, you said it on the strike rewind, and I totally agree. There's no possible way you could have stopped that momentum, bro. Like, I know a lot of people had emotions and was just upset that, along with Jermaine Pratt, he was upset about what happened, but it's just like, if you would have let him go, yeah, it would probably have been like what? Probably like a 61-yard field goal if they would have got that. But we're going to call a spade right now and just stick to the facts. It was just a shitty situation, bro. Overall for the Bengals, man, and they got put in a bad situation. Kansas City came out with the win. And last thing, I'm gonna hand it off to you. The biggest thing that's about to happen, though, y'all, since like we had high expectations of making it to the Super Bowl. It definitely looked like the Bengals were going to make it to the Super Bowl. It, to me, and I'm gonna still say it to this day, like due to that canceled game, I still to this day believe that Kansas City was handed that #1 seed. I still felt like the game should have been here in Cincinnati if it wasn't for that postponed game, well, the canceled game. But man, the biggest thing that's about to happen is this coming off season we're going to get into in this show as well. We might lose some people, man. That's probably the nightmare of this whole situation. We might lose some coaches, might lose some players, but what we need to know is what the Bengals are going to do to capitalize the situation going into the next 2023-2024 season, man. But what do you got to say, bro?
I mean, obviously, it was the ending we did not want for a climactic conclusion of a soap opera-filled season.
Right.
Okay. This team has gone through a lot. You look at the course of the whole season, we went through the appendix gate,
and
then we went through that to a whole new offensive line that we had to get through. And then we had the whole, is this a Super Bowl slump?
Yeah.
Starting off the 0-2 and had to get everything turned around. And then we had to battle through different injuries, to get ourselves back after getting embarrassed on national TV by the Browns. All the way up to, the lovely fate being decided by a quarter to the collapse on the field with Buffalo. To, like I said, it's just constantly been a nonstop roller coaster and a lot that this team's had to go through to get to this point. It's just everything I think finally caught up to us. We started getting ourselves together a little bit against Kansas City, but all of our weaknesses, I seen a post, it was on Facebook about, all the people that the Chiefs were missing and the fact that Mahomes was on, 1 foot and this, that, and the other. Well, we're missing our top cornerback. We're missing our, 3 of our starting offensive linemen. Our third receiver got taken out in the first quarter. There were injuries that we were battling with. The biggest key was the trenches. We already knew the weakest point was going to be the offensive line. And you look again at the Stripe Rewind or anybody that watched the game, Mahomes had a lot more time to throw than Burrow did. So that changes everything too. And unfortunately, the Bengals couldn't get them out of the situation that I warned about early on in the playoffs is don't get yourself in the situation where the refs can dictate what's going to happen. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. A lot of plays in that game, even if I wasn't a Bengals fan, that was the worst officiating I've ever seen in my life.
Facts.
So many holding calls on the Chiefs that were never called. I sent pictures that could be put on here to show, especially in that final. I don't know what exactly you want to call that final segment of the game. Between the kickoff return and then, of course, the couple plays they had before the kick. And the whole thing with Joseph Asai, you can't stop your momentum like that. And you're right there. And there's been plenty of plays this season. Look back at either Stripe rewinds or just any replays of the game of games in general. How many times have we seen players running up the sidelines against the Bengals and the players stopped because they didn't want to hit them further out of bounds, but the player was able to keep going forward and got another 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 yards. So I mean, it is what it is. All season long, the players have said how close they are as a unit and this, that, and the other. And you saw that with BJ Hill and you saw Hubbard, how they went right over to Osai.
Shouts out to them.
Yep, shouts out to them, especially BJ Hill after the game. He stood by him during the interviews and stepped right in and said, no, we're not asking questions like that. Ask a real question.
Exactly.
That shows the tight unity that this team has outside of the Jermaine Pratt situation. I get you're upset. You're in the heat of the moment. You retracted. I think it was the next day. But you don't throw teammates like that under the bus in those situations. I can't imagine what Osai feels. But the ending of the game had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
We should have never been in that situation in the first place.
At all. But at the same time, man, it was just so many missed opportunities, bro. It was just so many missed
that was
opportunities.
the main thing. Yeah.
It was just insane. Especially at the beginning, it was like
I was just gonna say that I believe we would have got points on that first drive if it wasn't for the holding penalty that killed it.
It could have been like 10 points alone. I mean, I think Mike Hilton dropped that shovel pass. That could have been an interception. He dropped that. And that one that we're talking about with Hayden Hurst, it would have been a spectacular catch, but it'd been nice if he'd have possibly could have caught that. Maybe it was a little bit out of his reach, a little bit. But I mean, I guess timing was everything, man. But like you said, like Burrow didn't have that much time in the pocket. It was literally, bro, watching the game. It was like one Mississippi, they were right there.
I don't even think you can get the whole Mississippi out.
Yeah, it was just insane, bro. It was just insane, man. But yeah, definitely shouts out to BJ Hill on that, man. That showed a lot of character what he did, man. But yeah, I get you what you're saying with Jermaine Pratt. But like, if I'm looking on the other side of it, just being in his shoes, it's like, yeah, you don't want to throw people under the bus, but it's just like, me and you've been saying it all season, just how this season just went, bro, and it's just how this game played out, and with how the refs got involved in the game. It's like we don't want to put too much blame on the refs because the Bengals did have an extra opportunity. We can't lie about that. They had an opportunity to seal the deal, but they folded. It was pretty bad, man. But yeah, man, it's wild, y'all. It's gonna be interesting how we're gonna go going forward. But yeah, like I said, being in his shoes, it's just like, yeah, you could be mad, be upset. I've been there before. It's just like that's just the competitor in the individual. Like, to me, that's just me. But it could have been, ain't like he said anything too bad. It could have been like it could have been worse than what it really was. I felt like it wasn't for social media, bro, we wouldn't be talking about this. I feel like social media and the public had a big impact on that being bigger than what it was. I don't think it was that big of a deal to me. It's just, they're all grown-ass men, bro. They all competing. Like I said, the dream was to get back to the Super Bowl, win the shit, and then the nightmare took place, man. And like we've been saying, like the flaws and everything else caught up to us, man. Everything that we've been avoiding this whole season. And yeah, bro, like watching that Stripe Rewind, I don't know what happened to him compared to the Bills game, but Hakeem was getting worked, bro, on that right side. He was definitely getting worked on that right side. But outside all this, man, definitely kudos to everybody, man. Kudos to the whole team. Like I said, they did the best they could. It could have been better. I wouldn't even say they did the best they could. It just could have been way better if they would have executed on a lot of the plays. But they couldn't do anything. They just couldn't do anything, man. But yeah, we already got into that.
It was still a great season.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
The way they finished, and everything else. So
yeah, overall,
they'll be back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they'll definitely be back, man. But it just comes down to how they play this off season, because it's gonna be a lot. It's a lot of names. It's a lot of names on the list. That's But the good news is, I think the Bengals got the third or fourth highest salary cap. So anything is possible.
And don't forget the salary cap is going up this year too.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I forget the amount, but yeah, it's going. Yeah. Here it is, $224.8 million. Yeah, that's where it goes to. So yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see how this shit plays out. That'll see how it plays out. All right, we got through the Jermaine Pratt. One thing I will say though, I feel like if Tyler Boyd, and I agree with you on this, I feel like if Tyler Boyd never got hurt in that second quarter, I still think the game would have been a different story, because that's Burrow's probably his favorite target when shit is getting rough. He somehow is open. Somehow. I don't know how, but somehow he finds a way to get open, and he will catch the ball. But I feel like if he was in the game,
was definitely missed.
It definitely was, because like I said, we could say the offensive line, but it's just, when he did have time, it just seemed like it looked like his body language is due to how he was getting rushed, like almost every play. It was getting really uncomfortable to where his awareness just felt like somebody was there, and he just threw that shit. That's what caused that first interception that he lobbed to T. Higgins, which was a shitty ass play. Like, probably the worst play I've seen Burrow probably did, like compared to his rookie year. But that's probably the worst play up to date. And I don't think he should have thrown that, because it was like, and the second one was bad. I mean, it was a tip pass, but it was a 3rd and 3. And me and you both said it, Hayden Hurst, and that's another person. Bro, there were so many times. It's like, this is what I felt like the Bengals was trying to do. I feel like they kept trying to look for the big play instead of just getting the yards needed. You saw what the Chiefs was doing. They were playing everything out in the flat. Everything was out in the backfield.
Remember, I've said it before. Take the play that they give you.
Yeah, you have to, man. It's like looking for the big play. They threw up a prayer at the beginning of the fourth quarter to get the chase. That was a prayer. Picture if that shit would have got intercepted. Like, the game would have been retarded at that point. But it's just like, but Hayden Hurst was open so many times, like across that middle. But that was just I feel like that was the biggest problem. They kept looking for the big play, and it just wasn't there. It's like they weren't. It's almost like they weren't being patient. It was almost like they were kind of like it was forcing a lot of shit. And then on top of it, the running game wasn't too much at all either. That shit was cakes. They couldn't do anything at the running game.
That hurt the offense a lot too.
It did. And that's what I try to tell people, man. It's like, with like, a mediocre line, like you can still get some, but at the same time, if it's just like, if it's not working, it's not working. But I feel like they could have made some type of adjustments at halftime to make something work. But it was like the same exact shit. Shout out to Samaje Perine. He got the Russian TD. Mixon was missing definitely in this game. Like, and that's another thing too. It's like, we saw Pat Mahomes passing out the what's his name? Pistachio, whatever his fucking name is. It's like, it would just been nice because Mixon is dangerous if you're passing it to him off of the flat like how they're doing Patio. They could have literally did the same exact thing, but again, like I just don't know.
He's dangerous, but the one thing about Mixon, though, and I'm not trying to say anything negative about him, but it is true. He's consistently inconsistent.
This season, yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely this season. It was very, very inconsistent. Even when the line got to its full potential, I mean, he had that breakout game. Was it the Panthers? He had the 5 touchdowns. And then, going forward, he was scoring like almost, I wouldn't say he was scoring every game, but he was doing solid stat-wise, like after that moment. But yeah, this game he was definitely missing. It would have been nice. It could have found him out in the backfield on the flat. But other than that, man, it's just like, like I said, we gotta get into other shit. We feel like the Bengals could have done differently in this game.
What could they have done differently?
Yeah, I feel like the play calling could have been much better, bro. Even with the line being trash.
There were questionable play calls. At the same time, they were all probably starting to feel desperate at that point, wondering what can we actually do when we're not going to get a flag thrown onto us.
Right.
I'm going to give a shout out to the defense. The defense is the reason the game was as close as it was, and we had a shot to win it.
Yeah, bro.
For how many times they hit bend but didn't break, to keep us there, and for whatever, the offense just could not follow up. And that's kind of been the MO all year. The offense would not be around for one quarter, but then kind of make up for it in the other 3 and have one really great quarter.
Right.
And that's something that we got to get better for. How many times everyone says, and it's true, we have all these offensive weapons, but how come we're not near the top in every offensive category?
Exactly.
And, so I don't know how much of that's the line or what the case may be, but that's something we got to get better on.
Exactly, man. You can't be wasting these players' window, man. I mean, like, it's good, like you said in the season 1, like we got these guys young. There's a lot of full potential, like, a lot of years left in these guys. Hope we can keep them all around. But yeah, man, it's just like it got to be better. It has to be better going forward, man. It has to be better. But yeah, the play calling was was very dry. It was just very dry. I thought they couldn't get anything off. But the most controversial shit was that they got an extra 3rd and 9. Well, they got extra 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know how they got to do a 5-play segment. I really don't. I know they showed the official running from a distance at that point. But the play, you already let the entire play happen. Any player could have got hurt. Another situation like DeMar Hamlin could have happened because you chose not to really get everybody running out there. If any of the officials saw him making any type of move, and he should have just kept continuing running in, throwing his arms up. I believe it was earlier in the game, there was a false start on us, I believe, and they still let us do the whole play out. And then they called it there was a false start. So that was twice. You let players expose themselves to being injured because
Right.
you stop a play.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that it's loud and everything else, but all these plans should already been in place to where this type of situation comes in, no matter what, you have got to get the play to stop.
Facts.
It's like, oh, something's not going the Chiefs' way, so let's fix it.
It was just wild. I just
Hate
never
to say
seen
that, but I'm saying it.
I mean, it is what it. Like I hear you, bro. It like you got. I mean, you got to say it because it's just like that's what it was. That's just what it looked like. It just we ain't the only ones. Like the whole world saw this shit.
Exactly.
I mean, I saw NFL rigged as the most trending topic.
I'm not gonna say it's rigged, but but the only thing I'll say is you pissed off Goodell with the whole coin toss stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We had the signs up for a clown, that and the other. Remember, house always wins.
Mm-hmm. That's
all I gotta say with that.
People, I guess some people call it karma, but I mean, hey, it was just that whole situation was just wild. I just couldn't believe I just couldn't believe in my eyes that we saw that happen in real time. I was like, oh, because the dude couldn't hear. They had to replay it down. It's like the play already went through. It was they got to stop. Defense got to stop at a great stop. It should have been fourth down. Like, nope. They had to redo the play. I was like, that shit's crazy. And I think they converted on first. I'm like, yeah, we did get the ball back, but it was the fact that there was a potential of them possibly almost scoring, whether it was a field goal or a touchdown. Like I said, the game could have been much different. Everything would have went the way it did. But it's just wild, everybody.
Well, another really misblown call. I forgot which player it was. We stopped his forward progression.
Yeah.
About a yard short
of the
first down.
Yeah.
And he reached out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they still gave him the first down. The way the rule goes, if in that type of situation, when they reach out, it's not where the ball starts at that crosses the line. If they pull that ball back, which he did, that's where the progression of the ball is at. The only time that reach over happens is at the goal line.
I'm glad you said that shit. That's what I'm saying. They treated that shit like it was a touchdown.
Right.
Like he just crossed the plane and that was it. But yeah, that's what I was accustomed to. Like you had to fully extend it.
The exact wording, when a runner puts the ball forward and voluntarily takes it back, they do not get the forward reach. Contrast to that, to a forward progress call at the line to gain, a leap over the top, the forward progress spot is typically awarded to the runner before the runner pulls the ball back.
Mm-hmm. Damn, bro. So yeah, that's how you got to do it. It's literally you got to keep that shit out and drop. But yeah, I'm with you, man. There's a lot of missed calls, man. And I think what's the guy? His name's like Gene or something. He's like the top dog, the top G of the official. And he admitted that, yeah, they missed a call on that BJ Hill hold and all that shit. I'm like,
they missed a lot of calls.
I'm like,
but could have, should have, doesn't change.
Yeah, I might say it don't change anything. I've seen a lot of people on the internet, everybody's reposting the videos and clips, and it's like, I honestly don't know what people are dreaming like to expect, but the play still stands. The Eagles and the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, regardless of what happens. There ain't gonna be no replay of the game. Ain't gonna be we're gonna redo the 44 seconds next Saturday. And none of that's gonna happen. It's like I love everybody's passion. Don't get me wrong. I love everybody's passion. It was nice to see that we weren't the only ones tripping. We all saw the same damn game. Everybody was upset what they saw. I'm with you. I want to say the NFL is rigged, but I do believe that the officials do have an impact on the games when it comes to certain shit, and that's especially when it comes to home teams and momentum. So it's like, but yeah, man. But it was just funny just seeing everybody. It was just wild, man. Ever since the game people are still going to this day to today, like talking about this shit, including us. So it's just like
they will for a long time.
It will. It's gonna go down. I did see there was some I think it looked like it was a false report. They said the guy was I guess the guy that made that call, Ronald,
the head official, his son made a bet with the Chiefs. I don't know how much truth there is to that.
Yeah, I think that's bait. I think that's bait. In society we live in today, like it's a lot of clickbait, but I'm pretty sure it's false. But yeah, man. I said we got to see what's going to happen going forward. Here we go, man. I'm on offense, defense, special teams, and play calling, performance, and grade.
I mean, special teams for the most part, they did what their part. I know you mentioned about Chrisman and that punt, but he actually had a really good punt.
Oh yeah, it was a good punt.
The reason it had that type of return was because of 2 blatant missed calls of holding and a block in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have probably tried to kick it out of bounds, but you're also trying to make them run up clock too, because I think at that point they only had 1 timeout left.
We did.
I think Kansas City had none, didn't
they? Yeah, they had none. That's the thing.
They were trying to make them run out as much clock as as they could.
Yeah, they had no timeouts.
So I'll give the special teams, even though with that play at the end, I'm going to give them an A because, like I said, they performed their part. But you can't beat the officials if they're not, allow all that shit to happen. Defense, I'm going to give a B plus. Well, I'll give a B plus. I'll just stick to what I'm thinking in my head. B plus. Okay. They were bending, but they didn't break. That score could have been a whole lot worse. But unfortunately, they could not actually get to Patrick Mahomes, which hurt. And every time they gave him that extra time at the line, he was able to always find Kelsey.
Gotcha.
Offense is a real tough one to judge because they had some great, as you called it, prayer plays that happened. But the way we know this offense can perform, and I know we had the weakness with the offensive line, but we saw what they did a week prior to Buffalo. Even though Kansas City defensive line is a lot better,
still that's a fact.
To be better, I'll probably put it around a C.
Okay.
They couldn't get the run game going at all. Too many opportunities where they went 3 and out, and they shouldn't have had to.
Yeah, man.
Was there anything that I missed?
Play calling. That's the last one.
Play calling. I mean, I'm not really too upset with their play calling. I don't know how much of that was a coach calling the play or if Burrow changed it when they had the 3rd and 3 and went deep. I still think they had an effective game plan. They just weren't able to execute it. I'll just put it at a B.
B? Okay. All right. Let me go. I'll go from top to bottom. All right. Offense. Yeah. Missed opportunities. The 2 interceptions was costly. Failed on the running game. Yeah, we got the one with Piron, but as a whole, the running game wasn't really a factor in the game. Like we just said, a lot of prayer-like plays that we're not normally seeing the Bengals do. I haven't really seen that shit since almost, I won't even say preseason. It's I just never seen them play like the way they're playing on the offense. And like you said, we got to hold these dudes to a high standard, bro. It's this is what we got to realize is that the Chiefs is playing with injured ass people, bro. Literally, bro. It is just it's 2 different teams, but like I said, they're playing injured, man. And they didn't really have they wide receivers went out. They had really all they had is Pacheco and old boy from here in Cincinnati, Kelsey, not from Cincinnati, but he went to UC. That was the only basically the 2 juggernauts they had. On our side, we had Higgins. We have what Tyler Boyd went out. That's cool. But Trent Irwin, Trent Irwin is still decent. I want to say he's a good fill-in for Tyler Boyd because it didn't seem like he was getting any space after he filled in for Tyler Boyd. He was getting no space with the defenders. Then outside of him, you got Chase, of course, Hayden Hurst, Mixon, Piron. And then I'm shocked. I still don't know what's going on to this day with the Chris Evans situation. It'd been nice to see them draw up something like we saw last year, in the game. He had a great spectacular touchdown. So I don't know what's going on with that. But overall, it's just we're just looking at the talent that we got compared to their offensive talent. It makes no sense to where it's like you said, the line, it didn't hold long enough for the plays to develop, for the routes to get developed. But I feel like a lot of it had to deal with the plays that was being called. But at the same time, just as a performance, I got to give these dudes a D, bro. D as in dog, bro. No B, but D as in dog. Defense, a lot of missed tackles. They let up a big one towards the end in the 4th quarter. Pacheco, he was stopped. It was like a 2-yard rush. Then it turned into a 15-yard rush with 3 missed tackles. then outside of that, a lot of missed opportunities. The Mike Hilton could have had that interception, could have focused a little bit. They did make some stops. Like I said, I will agree to that. They did make a lot of key stops so that this game could have been out of hand, because the first quarter, it could have been 14-0 off rip, like in the first quarter. But just overall, going to like just further in the game as the game went on, when it got to literally the part where it mattered, they kind of let up a little bit. But I would definitely say probably due to they've been on the field nonstop with the nonstop 3 and out. So I will give them bail on that. So I'm just going to give them just a C- on that. It's a C- as a whole. Special teams, McPherson did his thing. I just didn't that last play. It's like, yeah, I feel it. I feel it, with the refs and all that shit. But you got to make that damn tackle, bro. It's like you have to make the tackle. Like regardless, you had to make that tackle, because that was a big game they let up. Because you got to think about it, bro. Pat Mahomes wasn't throwing past 25 yards. So it's like they would have, like, let's say hypothetically they would have kicked out of bounce. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, the game probably went to overtime. I don't know who would have got the ball. It don't really matter at this point. But I feel like literally, it's like if they would have did that, we're probably having a different discussion today. Maybe not. But those last 2 minutes or the last 24 seconds was probably the biggest impact of the game. But I gotta get the special teams. I'll give them a C+. Play calling, offensive play calling was just like horrible. Defensive scheme, I mean, we saw Eli Apple getting we saw that. Mike Hilton was even getting toast a little bit across the middle. I think a lot of the big plays that happened, including that touchdown that made it 20, he was right there. And of course, and along with that one with Jesse Bates, that was critical too. But overall, and going to the offense, yeah, I'll have to give it a C-. I'll have to give that shit a C-, man. It was just a bad game. It was a bad performance overall, man. Probably like a bad performance we've seen up to date. But yeah, man. Anything else to add?
Nope.
It literally felt like, to be honest with you, bro, like this shit gave me reminiscence of the wild card game. I don't know if you felt that way just watching the game. We just without, Tyler Huntley been just putting in like Mahomes, but it's just like it felt just the grittiness of the game. That's just what it felt like to me. But it was just wild. Going into if I had to give like a final season grade, just overall this whole season, even though we didn't make the expectations that we're expecting, but it still was a great season. They did overcome the 0-2 deficit. They did make changes. They did excel. They did have the 10-game win streak. I'll give this whole season literally probably a B+, a strong B+. I don't know about you, but I'll give it a B+. Like I said, they did well, man. They did well.
I'll go ahead and give it an A for the whole season, just because of what I stated earlier. Everything they went through from start to finish, and with the offensive line issues we had, and then we finally had that together, and then each week all of a sudden they started dropping like flies. That's going to be hard for any team.
Hell yeah!
A lot of times that happens early on in the season, and you get everybody back towards the end. It went the opposite. As far as that aspect,
I'm with you, man, because I don't want to wish this, but I'm just gonna I'll just say this: I would rather like a Nate situation. I'd rather have my full line and lose. I'm not gonna say no names, but I'll just lose one of the wide receivers. Like we'll say one of the wide receivers or two wide receivers, or maybe the wide receiver and a tight end. I'd be cool as long as we got the line. Like we'd be good, because the running game get impact.
The way you said that, you already had that example as the season was going on. The offensive line was fully healthy. We lost Chase. We didn't miss a beat.
Oh yeah,
we lost Mixon. We didn't miss a beat. We were missing pieces, and the offense didn't miss a beat because the line was solid.
The line was there. Yep.
That line started getting chipped away. That offense started changing. So
drastically, man, drastically. They did have numbers, bro, for this. The total pressures allowed. What's his name? Sharping? The guy in the center. But he allowed 9 pressures. And then he let 7. Carmel let 3. Volson and Carreras let 2. And sacks allowed. Adeniji let 3. And Sharping let 2. And penalties, 1 on Volson, Carreras, and Adeniji. So, I mean, they got a lot of work to do in the offseason, man.
The one on Karras in that game, if you really watch when that happened,
was trash.
It was more so kind of happened because he was trying to help Volston bail him out.
It was. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He noticed Volston got beat.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Had to do what you got to do.
Right.
You got to do what you got to do. So, yeah, man. It's like, like I said, kudos all them, man. Like I said, we'll see what happens going into the next season. But now here we are, y'all. Here we are, the off season. Here we go. The off season. So the quick question, what do we need to fix off rip? Is obviously the offensive line. But outside the offensive line, what else you feel like we need to fix?
Corners.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that. If we want to switch,
in this draft, I think they need to look for linemen and corners. For the offensive side of the ball, you still got your top 3 wide receivers for one more year. Boyd and Higgins both have one more year left on their contracts.
Yes, sir.
Higgins has already admitted that he wants to stay in Cincinnati and play with Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
He's also making a change, if I remember correctly. He is no longer Ocho Cinco.
Mm-hmm.
He will now just be number 5.
Clemson days, baby.
Hurst is signed on a 1-year deal. We all know how much he expressed, how much he loves playing here. He found a home here. I think they will have no issues re-signing him. I have a feeling it'll probably be a 2-3-year deal.
I hope it's a 3.
Just got to look at the offensive line, see what free agents are going to become available for both the defensive side of the ball and for the offensive line, and what free agents of ours we can retain.
Man, so Collins will be back, or will he not?
Our entire offensive line is intact.
Okay, cool. I'm with you on the corner. I'm definitely with you on the corner. But yeah, I'll definitely still look for like a right tackle. Like, definitely. Just in case of this.
They'll be drafting a tackle because we don't know if we're going to extend Williams.
Mm-hmm.
He's now had 2 dislocated knees in the same season. Collins has an injury history.
Yeah, he does.
So, they're definitely going to be looking at tackles for sure.
Yeah, they definitely should.
The interior they're going to be fine on with Kappa, Karras, and I think Volston. This was his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's growing pains.
Mm-hmm. Volston was a good pickup.
Looking for more tackles.
They need to, bro. They need to going forward, man. Just to avoid. They need to load up on that depth chart on the offensive line. Definitely, man. But yeah, definitely hope they resign Hurst. But yeah, they definitely got to look at that. The big question I'm seeing going around, bro. Will they move on from Joe Mixon?
I have heard that question.
Yeah, I've been seeing it like floating, bro. It's telling.
I mean,
we gotta be honest, yo.
If I'm gonna be honest, I can very easily see them moving on.
Yeah.
He had that one great game, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, what
overall,
have you really seen overall from Mixon that makes you go, he's our top dog?
Yeah, man.
He was out with his injury, and Pirine came in and supposed to be the backup, and it was like never. I mean, he was putting up the same, if not better, numbers, but I think they were actually pretty damn similar.
Yeah, they were.
If your backup running back is putting up pretty much your same as your starter,
mm-hmm.
It's not like a Derrick Henry situation or anything like that.
Right.
So, they could potentially look, but why have that salary on there if you can go much cheaper route, use that money somewhere else if they're not performing as much as you want?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you 1,000%. It's like it's
being honest with it.
Yeah, you have to, because it's 50-50, man. Because it's like, yeah, we could go back to the whole line thing, because the line can't contribute to a running back's his performance, I guess I'll say. And we did have trouble this season with the offensive line getting it together. And he did, of course, like you just said, he had that breakout game against the Panthers, getting that 5 touchdown joint. But yeah, I mean, because this is the way I look at it. Because we're looking at other teams, you can make a star running back out of anybody almost. As long as you got a solid line, you can have it don't matter who you have back there. But like you're saying, we're coming down to just money and contract and just the cap space and everything. I mean, if they did move on, I would be okay with it. If he stayed, I'll be okay with it. But at the same time, if he doesn't perform the way we're expecting to perform, and it's just like you have to move on. And that's what goes back to what you're saying. It's just like, we're looking at this whole season as a whole. Yes, Samaje Perine did outshine. If it wasn't for that Carolina game, we wouldn't be, we'd probably be talking about Perine. I think Perine probably been the starter going forward, to be honest with you. I think you were talking about like he should be the starter going forward because of how he was performing, how the line was reacting to him playing in the game, and it's just his style of running play. But
it just seemed like the offense was kind of moving a little smoother.
Yeah, with Perine. If you just like you're saying earlier, you just look at the games or just check out the stripe rewinds, or you see Perine starting. Just look how when we're at full strength on the offensive line, just look how it like Maverick is saying, how it flows with him in there, because he's more, like I say, he got that bowling ball mentality. So it's just like he's gonna plow your ass over. But we will see going forward, man. But this is a question I've been seeing. I had to ask you going on here. I added it like today. It's always just like, I mean, it's something to think about. Because like I said, y'all, like this the nightmare part. It's like, we're going to see people leaving. Like, this is the part of the business. It's like, you're going to see people come, you're going to see people go. But yeah, man. But anything else to add, man, with the Joe Mixon thing or whatever they need to fix? I think we pretty much got it down packed on what they need to fix. It's pretty obvious what they need to fix. You got to just circle that shit with a red marker. The next question, though, this is wild, because we're about to be a possibility of probably losing the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator to possible head coaching jobs. Now, the question is, who would you rather lose, bro? Would you rather lose Brian? It's no time. And I'm with you 1,000%, because it's like Lou.
Like the one song goes, just change the lyric. Never gonna give Lou up. Never gonna let Lou.
Nope. Yeah.
We ain't getting rid of Lou.
I wouldn't lose Lou at all, bro. I wouldn't. I'm cool losing Callahan.
Zach Taylor's also heavily involved in the offense.
Yes, he is.
It's like, okay, if Callahan goes, how much is really going to change with the offense?
See, that's the thing, because that's 2 seasons in a row that it went through Taylor and Callahan. Mm-hmm. And they came up short in the Super Bowl. The play calling was I, scale of 1 to 5. It was like maybe a 3. It was I going into, this game that we're talking about. It would just be bonkers of trash. Like it was bad. But that's what it has to come down to. Like, it's like, okay, let's say hypothetically, let's say we lose Callahan. We bring in, I'm not going to say no names, but like we could pipe dream in a second. But let's say let's say we lose Callahan and they bring in somebody with a heavy offensive mindset. My question is, I wonder, will Taylor like relieve his duties of calling the plays and let's see how this works with the new guy, or he's still going to try to like want his say in the plays? Because like I said, you 0 for 2 now. You lost the Super Bowl. Then you go into this season, made to the AFC Championship. We lost this game, and the offensive performance was trash, and it was definitely unexpected. So it's just like he almost Taylor almost might need to consider like relieving the coaching duties if Callahan leaves and we bring in somebody new. That's if. Now, who should they bring in? Man,
I was gonna say it's easy for me.
Oh, listen, who you want?
I think I've mentioned it to you before, and
you
of course,
both
of my picks are bringing people back. On the offensive side of I would love to see Hugh Jackson back here with how well that our offense did years ago when he was in charge of it. When you had Chad, TJ, Chris Henry,
okay.
I can just keep the list going. Yeah. If Callahan would leave, I'd be on the phone with Hugh Jackson.
Okay.
If Lou would happen to leave, which I really don't believe he will, even though the Texans hired DeMeco Ryans as their head coach, I'm not going to get into that. But it's mainly an offensive-driven league. Every coach is successful right now in getting to the Super Bowl and through the playoffs. They're offensive-minded. They're offensive coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive coaches are not doing so well, especially like Bill Belichick ever since your boy left. But
Nah.
So I really don't think Lou's gonna go anywhere. But if he did,
Mm-hmm.
again, I'd be on the phone trying to bring a homer back. I would love to try to get Zim back. He already
Okay.
has ties here in Cincinnati and everything else.
Okay.
And our defense was really good under Zim.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm with you on that. If he wants to bring Zim back.
But again, I think one of the few teams that's left to hire a coach, if I remember correctly, is a complete dumpster fire. And any coach that's going to be their first-time head coach is not going to want to go to Arizona.
Oh yeah, no.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's the
No.
only one that's really available now at this point after all the hires that's been announced. But
Right.
I'm not 100% on that. But no new coach is going to want to go there. So I think Lou's sticking around.
Yeah, I would. But again, though, man, money does talk. Money does talk, and it's life changing money, once in a lifetime opportunity. I mean, if it's there, like he might not take it, man. That's just something we got to accept. That's just the business of this game, man. That's it, players included. Like, you know, if money talks, if it's there, it's there. You know, some people can't leave 10 million on the table and suffer for a pay cut. You know,
There's
it just
one
depends.
more name I'll put out there real quick on the defensive side of the
Go
ball.
Go ahead, bro.
Besides Zim, and this will be a full outside source. Lovey Smith.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
BNT's available now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. For defensive, yeah, definitely,
if Lou
definitely.
left, I would love to be on the phone with him.
Oh, I like that one. You might be on to something on that one. You might be on to something. Hey, if that
So
happens,
we're doing
y'all.
pipe dream, so I just had to say it.
If that happens, you heard it here first, y'all. But for me, for the offense, bro, I just had one. Well, I had two names in particular. I know this one guy won't do it because he wants the head coaching job. And I was saying,
I have a feeling
Sean
I already
Payton.
know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, Sean Payton, bro. But I don't think he was settled to be an offensive coordinator.
Oh, that's not the name I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, but another person, due to winning the Super Bowl and be a part of the Brady, Brian Leftwich, bro. I'll be cool with Brian Leftwich, bro. I'll be cool with Brian Leftwich. Yo, look at the weapons they have. They won the Super Bowl with him, bro. It's like you can't knock it. You can't knock it, bro.
Won the Super Bowl with him, yeah, but he had Tom Brady as his quarterback.
And we got Joe Burrow.
I mean, I'm just
the uprising face of the NFL, bro. I'm with it, man.
Not enough proven for me with Byron Leftwich.
Hey, he won the Super Bowl with Brady, bro. I said, had plenty. I said, man, only reason why he got fired, bro, was on some bullshit. It wasn't due to just his play calling. It was a lot of bullshit going on behind the scenes. And it, so it's just like, I'm not going to go with the tabloids and all that shit. Numbers don't lie. This dude led that team to a Super Bowl championship. So it's like, I want anybody that got the winning mentality and definitely know what to do with weapons. And we got way more weapons than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have.
A name I thought you were going to say, even though he should be a head coach.
What's up?
But he would be leaving one offensive coordinator job for another.
Yeah.
But if anything, it would prove to all the NFL clubs, see what I can do with this and this.
Right.
Eric Bieniemy.
Oh yeah.
Kansas City, and come be the OC here.
Mm-hmm. We've been talking about that for a long time. Like even when like Taylor first got here, we're talking about him. Like I feel like they holding him hostage over there. Because I think, I feel like they holding him hostage. I mean, yeah, that'd be a nice name to bring in just due to, yes, he has that offensive mindset too. And just like him, led to a Super Bowl championship. So it's just like, that name that's not a bad name to put in there as well. But listen, we're pipe dreaming, y'all. Anything is possible. Definitely anything is possible, man. Definitely anything is possible. What else we got on here, bro? That shit's funny as hell, though. But I want to be, they did the Lovey Smith, but they're not going to, I mean, this is for pipe dream. They did that. That'd be wild. That'd be some wild shit.
Oh, I'd be ecstatic.
Hell yeah, man. Okay. Anything else to add,
I might not
man?
show it now, but I would be ecstatic.
Already know. Already know, man. Anything else to add, man, before we go forward, man, going into the results and the NFL news?
Yep.
All right, man. Get y'all your results. There's only one result because obviously since the Eagles in the Super Bowl. What was even the score to the game? Hold on,
a lot
man.
to a little.
Yeah. That game, they were even saying in that game was like, I watched some. I was just, bro, I wasn't even watching the officiating or none of that shit. I was just focused on watching the style plays of both teams to see who will possibly been playing like against. Well, yeah, they got toasted. It was 31-7. Eagles against 49ers due to what was his name? Purdy. Yeah, Purdy went out with an injury. I can't believe they're trying to make him go back in. But yeah, they say he's gonna be out for a minute. And then with the news, it's a lot of news going on, y'all. A lot of news. Maverick told y'all they raised the salary cap. We told y'all earlier they turned $24.8 million. I did see the Ravens going to franchise tag Lamar Jackson. They're going to have him. Hey, we knew that was coming, though, bro. We knew that was coming. We was not lying, bro. And also, we were just talking about him. Tom Brady retiring. And also, breaking news. We were talking about it towards the end of the day earlier today, me and you, Mav. The Eagles offensive lineman, Josh Still's been indicted on, I'll say grape charges. They don't like that R word on here. Yeah. So I'll say grape. Get him on the grape charges, grape and kidnapping charges. So, and it's wild with the timing because it's like like a week before the Super Bowl. So it's wild what's going on, man. It's a lot of wild shit. But one thing I would like to see though, before I get into the other shit, I know it won't happen, but it's the fact that they had the idea this year possibly doing it. If it was the Bills and the Chiefs, I would love, just after what we saw in this game, I would love to see just the neutral sites for both AFC and NFC games, bro.
This was going to be their quote unquote dry run. With this setup, they're actually wanting to try to do that, having neutral sites for those games.
They need to, bro. It's like, again, me and you don't like the little, like, try to put the refs at full blame and shit, but it's just like,
I'm not too big of a fan of the neutral site thing with that, because a team like, if you're the number one seed, to me, you should get the home field advantage throughout, or if you're the higher seed in general.
I feel it. I just like it that it makes it more more balanced. I'll say more balanced, just as a whole, because you're not at your home location. So the game just go either way. I know it's college, but we see it with college, and we kind of saw it.
I say that I'm against the neutral sites is because they're able to pick and choose where they want it. So it's not like it's going to be alternating different stadiums, like a regional type thing. They're going to go which teams spend the most money, which cities can we make the most revenue. It's going to be a completely one-sided thing, and that's why I don't agree with it at all.
I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. I like to see it. I always like to see it, man. Just eliminate all the bullshit.
The Bengals got to do the AFC Championship game here. I would love to see what the total revenue is for the city of Cincinnati, and that's what's good. That's what would be taken away from these, from the teams.
That's a good point. Yeah, I say it'd be revenue going to the city. They can fix these damn potholes. Right. For sure, and get the homeless off the street. Some shit, man. Some shit. But yeah, going into the next year's schedule, man, for home, we got some new ones on here. Well, not some new ones. We got some, of course, you got your divisionals, but there's the Texans on here for home. The Colts here at home. I did see the Rams is on here at home. The Seattle Seahawks is here at home. Also, the Minnesota Vikings here at home. And, of course, the Buffalo Bills again at home. But do you think they're going to be playing overseas?
Well, the plus side with this schedule is we have 9 home games this year versus 8 this past season. 3 of their visiting or the places that we're going to visit, all 3 of those teams have a game that needs to be scheduled overseas. So there's a very good chance that one of our games could be played overseas. But at least for us, it's going to be a visiting game anyway.
Right.
So we're not losing a game.
And for the visiting, we got the Cardinals. That's new on here. Jaguars is on here. The 49ers is on here. Titans, and, of course, Kansas City. So they're going to,
We expect to play Buffalo and Kansas City every year.
Exactly. From here on out.
Make sure that matchup happens, especially with the 17th game in there now. They can put that extra flex game in. They're going to want to see these marquee matchups.
You already know. Definitely already know.
Basically act like they're part of the division now.
Hell yeah. It's going to be interesting to see, man. But hopefully they nail all this shit on the off season, man. Got lots to get into. Like I said, NFL draft is April 27th in Kansas City. In Kansas City, man, at 8 p.m., man. We'll see. I think the Bengals got the 29th pick, it says. Yeah, they got the 29th pick. So we'll see. We'll see what they're going to end up doing. We'll see what they end up doing. But I definitely believe, like, the first – shit, who do you think they should get first, offensive or defensive?
I need time to dive into it.
I'm about to say, I haven't really looked too much in depth because, like I said, I was still processing this bullshit.
I have a tendency to get very involved.
Okay.
And obsessed with all that stuff. So I'll give you a better answer in a little while.
I already know, because I remember last season you sent me like 5 or 6 different like projection joints. I was like, damn, all fucking A minuses. I was like, all right, man, I got you. But yeah, man, other than that, anything else to add, bro? Before we get off here, man. Was there any signings, any coach signings or anything? I haven't really been keeping up with the coach signings.
Well, yeah, Sean Payton in Denver, and
that's official.
Ryan's and Hughes. Oh, that's official.
Oh shit, my bad, y'all. See, that's why I said his name. I didn't know it was official or not.
That is official. Sean Payton is now officially the head coach of the Denver Broncos.
Damn. Okay. He might turn that shit around. Maybe.
Actually, I believe that was breaking news as soon as I was on my way home.
Okay. Today?
Official. Yes.
All right. See, that's probably why I missed it. I must say, I haven't looked up anything like today, like as we got back. I was looking over the notes. Damn. All right. Damn. All right. He might turn that shit around. He might. We will see. But yeah, y'all, other than that, y'all, like I said, NFL draft April 27th. We will be live streaming here on Queen City Stripes on YouTube, only here on YouTube. Also during the off season, we'll be going live. If anything breaking news happen, we'll be going live. We'll probably give our quick takes, probably for like maybe 30 minutes, maybe. Like, it depends on what happens. We'll keep you informed on that. Make sure you hit that notification button so you get alerted on that when we go live. But other than that, man, everything good, man?
Everything's great. And even since we're out of it, and this is the Queen City Stripes, at least for right now, I got to just put it out there.
Yeah.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
See, that's what I was waiting on.
Let's whoop that Kansas City ass.
I'm with you, man.
Get payback for us.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I will say this. All right. I don't plan on watching the Super Bowl. I don't plan on watching it. I know, yeah, you know, the halftime show and all that shit, but I don't plan on watching. I do hope the Eagles win. If I gave a prediction for the score, due to what we just witnessed and due to what we witnessed with the Eagles, they a hot team right now. Like, they're like extremely hot team.
I'm calling blowout.
Yeah, I'm
wanting a blowout.
I'm saying 42-13 off rip.
That big a blowout.
Yeah. They look dangerous, bro. Like, they look real dangerous, bro. And then, like, the hard game, you know, the hard fought game that they just came off of, the Chiefs, man, like, you know, with the injuries with the wide receivers. I mean, I know they got an extra week and shit to heal and process and stuff, but I don't see they got what I don't think they can match. I know people, you know, I ain't going against Pat Mahomes. I get it, but the Eagles as a full complete team, they got the better team, bro. And it's not just because we lost, but they got the better team. We're calling a spade a spade. But yeah, man. What's your score for this? This is your second favorite team?
I didn't really have a score. I just said blowout.
Okay. So I'm about to say is I already know you tuning in, but yeah, I'm not tuning in, man. It's just like, yeah, I'm just.
I'll just say 35-17.
That's a good score. But yeah. We'll see y'all, man. Yeah, definitely tune into that. That is February 12th. That's not next Sunday. Well, next Sunday. But yeah, man.
Week and a half.
Yeah, week and a half, man. Stay tuned on that, man. Like I said, we'll probably, if I do end up watching it, yeah, like I said, next time we go live, like I said, I'll give y'all my full reaction to all that shit. But other than that, I don't really have no interest in watching it. Like I said, I'm kind of still discussing the Bengals and it get to the prom, but it's all good. It's all good. It's got to do better. Other than that, y'all want to give y'all a hoot? Want to go and get out of here, man? We love y'all. Like I said, hit that notification button for the next time we go live. Like I said, stay tuned on that. Stripe Rewind will be out Friday morning. So stay tuned on that if you want to watch the highlights of the AFC Championship game and me and Maverick's reaction. Keep sharing the channel. Like I said, we're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube. Of course, you want to watch the visuals. That's where a lot of people have been coming from. A lot of people just been wanting to like the visuals. We are currently at 174 subscribers. So thank you to everybody, man. We appreciate the support this year. The channel has been jumping this year compared to season 1. And that's a beautiful thing, man. Keep sharing the channel, man. Like, share, and subscribe. But yeah, man. I'm gonna say it again, man. We love y'all. We'll give y'all a hoot. We'll catch y'all next time.
Hoot.
We love y'all. We out, baby. Salute.